YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, and for those of you who don't like campaign, I have a quick battle to throw at you from Empire Total War. I was hoping to have more of these, but I didn't get a chance to really announce to you all that I was going to be going on here and playing this for 4th of July. It's been a busy week. So I just took what I could find, and decided to pull my old, sorry, the game. I was tabbing back into the game. It takes it a second to actually work, because Empire Total War doesn't like it when you tab in and out. But yeah, I was deciding to take my old native rush build out of the closet just for fun. It was definitely one of my favorites, so I got this online match where I play as the Pueblo nations, which was one of my favorite factions to use with the rush build. They weren't necessarily the best. The Huron were good at it as well, and then you could do something similar with the Cherokee, and they were quite good at it. And you could even do something similar with the Iroquois. But yeah, I'll show you all this. And let's see. Just want to get the thing started here, so I'm going to fast forward to the beginning point of the battle. I guess I could have already done this and then just tab back in, so apologize for that one. Let's get things going. So yeah, let's take a look at my troops. Up front in all my native rush builds, of course, I just have a line of tribesmen, and these guys are here just to absorb the volley from the European-style troops. And then I'm going to follow them up with chevron, I have, I guess, veteran units of warriors, and then they're always backed up by medicine men. That's the guy with the paint on the faces there that you see. And then I usually have a contingent of heavy cavalry, well, I guess as heavy as native cavalry gets, so in this case, Crow horse warriors. So I've got a bunch of them, and I've got chevrons in them as well to help buff them up a little bit. They're going to be a key component, and I'm basically taking my army into two positions. One's going to move through this valley, the other's going to move through this valley. This is the Homestead Map, and a native rush would actually be pretty good on this map for the most part because there's a lot of bottlenecks. Well, I say that, it could actually weaken it because of the bottlenecks, but there's also a lot of terrain that keeps the enemy from being able to spread out and pour down mass fire quite as easy. But bottlenecks could definitely work against you on this map, especially if your opponent was clever enough to lay down a stake line to make it harder for your cavalry to get around. Let's take a look at my opponent's army. He's got, I think, 4 units of grenadiers, all in total. Yeah, 4 units of grenadiers, I think it's 5 units of line infantry, 2 4-inch mortar batteries. I said no rules, so... And then he's got 2 carbineers out here, and another one right there, so I think that accounts for his army. His general is in one of these units. Not sure exactly which one, but yeah. So that's the Spaniard army here, and he's going to stay on his side of the map because he's got his fixed artillery. No reason for him to move. So he's going to stick there. I actually forgot one of my medicine men. Not a good plan. So the medicine men are actually a morale buffing unit. It's a very important unit to bring with native rushes. So they buff the morale of your troops that are nearby. Plus they're a pretty decent fighting force. So native units have high attack, typically low defense, and you need to be pretty quick and decisive when you decide to use them. I'm sitting right outside the range of his line infantry, and I'm going to scoot around the flank of his infantry over here. Now, a couple of cazadores came out of hiding over here. These guys can hide whenever they're sitting still. So, yep, long-range rifleman here. He's got some chevrons on almost all of his units. Probably not necessary, but it's not going to hurt him when it comes down to a melee. Like these chevrons and these grenadiers really are going to make those guys a difficult unit for me to take in melee. But I'll let you all watch my strategy again. Just want to get my horsemen completely around the flank. And these are just carbineers, so they're not going to be all that great in melee. My Crow horse warriors ought to be able to handle them. I'd be a little more worried if they were cuirassier or maybe a lancer unit. Lancer units would be dangerous to me on the charge, not so much afterwards, but yeah. My guys are bow armed, his guys are rifle armed, by the way. So my bow horsemen will fire if they're in range, which apparently I didn't get in range right here. Yeah, you can see my guys taking out their bows now and actually taking some shots. So I'm going to charge into his carbineers and get a fight started here. In the meantime, my meat shield has done its job. You can see that both lines of the Spanish infantry has fired its volley into my worthless unit, leaving my other units mostly unscathed. And then I'm going to actually take this unit and go get his artillery while my warriors charge forward. And you can see that the Spaniard's going to have a hard time getting a second volley off. Now, this would be more difficult against a guard unit, but he doesn't have any guard units here. So you can see my warriors did get him before he got a second volley. The biggest problem for me is that he has grenadiers right behind, and irregardless of his own men, he hurls in a crap ton of grenades. And my guys get Kersh-bloated, which is bad. So yeah, it actually worked out really well for him. He lost way fewer men than I did there. It was actually a pretty smooth move. I've never seen anybody use grenades against this army, but worked out very well for him. Normally those guys would have gotten hacked to bits, but I mean those grenades literally saved them, and he's just got his guys sitting back here. So yeah, look, I'm going to get to his artillery. I already killed his carbineers over here, and see my bow cav shooting at his artillerymen. And then again, the rush here is going to work perfectly. Tribesmen absorbing the shots, and then my warriors behind so that they can follow through. In this case, I think my tribesmen will eat his grenades. But yeah, you can see that I will eventually be able to turn this fight. My opponent's grenadiers are not throwing grenades, fortunately for me. He really should be, because I'm bunched up, but I see that he could potentially throw more grenades. So I've got my cavalry ready to charge on over into the back of his men and disrupt his grenadiers from firing. Right now his men aren't firing because they don't have a clear line of sight, I don't think. Oh no, it's because they were getting ready to throw more grenades. Check that out. Good grief, man. Yeah, my opponent quit the match. He was actually doing fairly well. Now over here he would have had a harder time, because you can see I actually just came into the back of his grenadiers with my 2 cav units. I had another one on the way, so he would have had a hard time. Like, I think I would have wrapped this up, but he was actually doing a fairly good job over here. It's not a super easy army to put down. It's not to say that it can't be done, and he'd actually had more kills than me up to that point. I just had a considerable number more men. So yeah, none of my guys had really even gotten a ton of kills other than my Crow Horse warriors, which kind of mopped up his cavalry and some of his cazadors. But yeah, good old native rush build, some classic Empire Total War fun. Hope you all enjoyed that. Heir of Carthage signing off for now.